Hold ground six Calvary with another edition of this weekend's sports here on UCTV, Cablevision 3. What a wonderful Sunday night it is here in North Georgia. And football is just around the corner. Maybe you've been watching preseason college and pro football. We haven't been watching college, but you've been watching some good pro football. We got sound a little bit on. Got about right? Okay, well, we'll get that sound up here.
And look for those 1923 to 1989. If you will, John, roll it in the back. Rossville High Bulldogs, 19-30 over the past 5 years. Last year, the Bulldogs were 4-6 while playing in Region 7, AAA North. This will be the last year of the Rossville High Bulldogs before becoming Ridgeland High School in the combination with the Chattanooga Valley Eagles next year. As you look across the home of the Bulldogs, Hutchinson Memorial Field in their last season, it looks kind of quiet. But on September the 2nd, things will be kind of rowdy. Because a series that was renewed in 1968 will come to an end. That's right, Rossville versus LFO, the end will happen on September the 2nd. We'll be there with UCTV Sports in the game of the week. The Birds are on the field now, but the Warriors and the Bulldogs will be there September the 2nd at 8 o'clock for your first game of the week. An exciting game, it's probably going to be. It comes to an end this year. They'll be over there filling the stands on the Lakeview Fort Oglethorpe side. They'll be just as crazy as they were the first year that they won. The Lakeview Fort Oglethorpe Warriors, if they can pull it off, will have bragging rights forever over the Rossville Bulldogs. The Dogs will come right out of that gate as many of them have done in the years past. The Bulldogs are working hard right now down at Rossville. Larry Fleming, who is in his 4th year, I've been there for all but one of the ball games that Larry Fleming has coached since becoming the head coach at Rossville. Larry's a former all-city center at Rossville High himself. And his blood definitely runs deep, deep blue. Larry is really excited for the opportunity that he's got of leading the Bulldogs to victories this year. This year, the Dogs will be playing in 7 AA North, along with West Rome High School, Lafayette High School, Calhoun High School, Rossville, of course, at Daresville, Model, Northwest Georgia, and Gordon Central. Rossville will be playing a different schedule this year. The Bulldogs are coached, of course, by head coach Larry Fleming, assistants Ike Corbett, Mr. Craig Leonard, Jack Mayo, Mike Scholl, back now coaching Mr. Robert O'Kelly, who is also assistant principal in charge of discipline at Rossville High. Jeff Suttles, you saw there a while ago, will also be at Rossville High School. Jeff Suttles is coming back to Rossville after going to Lafayette High. Again, in the last 5 years, Rossville's record has been 19-30-1. They returned 7 offensive starters and 7 defensive starters. Their top players, center and defensive tackle, Mr. Jason Sherman, a 6'2", 240-pound senior. Offensive and defensive tackle and 3-year starter, Mr. Junior Shropshire, at 5'11", 235 pounds. At quarterback, he slimmed down and lost about 20 pounds this year. He's going to be quicker and he's going to be better. We called him 747, but we've decided we're going to drop that title this year and change his name to something else. His performance will dictate that. 6'3", 210-pounder, Mr. Derek Swing. At tailback, a junior with an awful lot of ability. James, JT, you've heard me say it before, knock your head off Turner. 5'10", 190 pounds this year, a running back. Also, the Dogs will count on a senior who has been moved to defensive end and will also be playing linebacker. We call him the Mad Stork. His name is Todd Nobbit, number 44, 6'2", 195 pounds. At defensive tackle, a second-generation Bulldog, following his father, Morris Walls, who played there, Mr. Steve Walls at 6'4", 255 pounds. And at fullback, last but definitely not least, he's 6'1". He's well over 200 pounds. He rushed for over 200 yards in his last high school football game against Lakeview. And his name is Mr. Derek Burnett. Rossville opens up with Lakeview Fort Oglethorpe. Then on September the 9th, they have Northwest Whitfield. September the 16th, they play at Ringo. The 23rd at Northwest Georgia. September the 30th, they play at Calhoun. On the 8th, a Saturday night encounter against West Rome at Barron Field in Rome, Georgia. October the 14th takes them to Lafayette. October the 21st, they come home against Daresville. The 28th, they go to Gordon Central. And on November the 4th, their season ends at Model. Hopefully, the Dogs season will not end that night. The final season of Rossville football, according to Coach Larry Fleming, should be exciting. But things are always exciting when you're talking to Coach Larry Fleming. The Dogs, of course, have moved down And the Dogs are going to count on the shoulders of that man you see running that football right there, Mr. James J.T. Turner, to put the ball in the end zone. Also behind the skillful passing arm of Mr. Derek Swift. So look for a big year out of the Rossville High Bulldogs. Look for the Dogs to lay it all on the line from 1923 to 1988. These Dogs have a different outlook on life. They're rejuvenated, and they're probably at the most high point of their enthusiastic career right now. There's a man right there, Mr. Winston, that's going to mean a whole lot to this club. A freshman right there in Adams, who's going to be a water bug. It'll be very quick. So the Rossville High Bulldogs from 1923 to 1988 will be ended off. On September the 2nd, we're looking for a big crowd for the game of the week there at Rossville High Such Memorial Field. You know, if you've ever watched a Lakeview Fort Oglethorpe Rossville High football game, if you've ever participated in one, if you've ever been anywhere around Lakeview Fort Oglethorpe and Rossville High football, you're going to owe it to yourself to see the finale. I guarantee you F.E. Brown's going to have his troops from LFO ready to play football. I guarantee you Larry Fleming's going to have his troops from Rossville High ready to play football. And when both teams come through the tunnels onto the field, I hope that we've got a full audience there for them. After all, this is the finale. There'll never be another Rossville, Lakeview, Fort Oglethorpe football game. And if you're like me and you're participating in one of them, it will take a whole lot to keep you away. So get your tickets now and get ready. Larry Fleming is ready, and he hopes that the Rossville Bulldogs will be ready when it comes time on September the 2nd to play their final game and begin their final season. The Bulldogs, again, will be more strong on defense than they are offense. They go have a big defensive line. They did lose some defensive starters that could hurt them. Offensively, they're not going to be very deep. If they have any kind of injuries, it could be a long season for the Dogs. But if they can keep people happy and they can keep people well, the Dogs could have a rough season. A tough season, excuse me. So there you see Larry Fleming as he gets his Dogs ready for the last season. Now we're going to take it to the tape and let them finish out with the Rossville High Bulldogs 1988, the final, the year. What's the season going to mean for the Rossville High Bulldogs seniors this year?
I think this will be the most important season that we've had. That we have to prove a lot of things to a lot of people, but most of all, I have to prove things out there to our coaches. And, you know, this season, our seniors have to lead. We haven't had real good leadership in the past year. My name? I'm Derek Swift, senior quarterback, Rossville High School.
Jason Sherman, senior center and defensive tackle. This being the last season means that we have to be the best we can be this year, because they're going to remember the Rossville by what we did and not what they've done before, because we were the last.
Todd Nobley, I'm a senior tight end and linebacker. This year playing for the Bulldogs will be the last year. It means a lot to me to play for the Bulldogs for the last year, but that's not what counts. It's winning for the Bulldogs that counts. That's what I'm out here to do. We're coming at you, Warriors.
I'm Junior Schrock, the defensive tackle, senior. Well, this has been the last year, the most important year. Really all I have to say is that over the years we had some struggles, but this year we got to prove something to ourselves and to all the coaches out here. But the first game that's coming up is going to be the Warriors. That's what we're going to start at.
I'm Derek Burnett.
I'm Derek Burnett, senior fullback and linebacker. The Rossville Bulldogs this year are playing for all the Rossville Bulldogs in the past years. And we're also playing for bragging rights forever because we're going to be the best and the last that the Rossville has ever known.
Chris Hatson, senior wingback. This is our last year, and we're going to have to play every game like we're playing Lakeview. Got to be up and ready. We're going to be excited.
Robert People Russell, senior, defensive and offensive guard. All I want to do this year, got one thing to say. I want the Rossville Bulldogs to go out with a big bang.
I'm Otis Hickman, senior defensive and offensive guard, and I just want to say that I'm proud of being one of the last of Rossville Bulldogs, that I just wish they would let me in, but since it is, I'm proud to be one of the last ones.
I'm Tim Harris, senior tight end. I don't have nothing to say because we're going to do our tucking on the field. It's going to be a long ride home for Lakeview.
I'm Stephen Palmer, senior guard, and we're going to try to prove this year, all of Rossville, that not only we just seen it, they did save the best for last. Richard Learfeld. I'm Richard Learfeld, senior tight end and linebacker. I don't got much to say, but we're going to go out and play the best we can in every football game.
I'm Mark Giles, senior defensive tackle and offensive tackle. This being the last year of the Rossville Bulldogs means more to me than any season I've played. I want to show the people in Rossville that the Bulldogs are the best, and we're going to show them come September 2nd against Lakeview.
Tim Marine, I'm a senior defensive guard. I don't have much to say, but I'm going to do my talking on the field.
Coach Fleming, the last season here with the Rossville Bulldogs, it all started back in 1923. Now it's 1988 and 89. It's going to end here with Ridgeland High School next year. Tell us kind of how the attitude is amongst the coaches, the fans, and also amongst the ball players coming up on this September the 2nd game against the Lakeview Warriors.
Well, Marvin, I think gearing up for the last year, I think the kids are really excited. Our coaches are excited. We've got a good staff this year, and I just look real forward to what's going to take place this year, closing out the last edition of the Rossville Bulldogs. And, of course, we always look forward, to having great competition against Lakeview, Fort Oglethorpe, and we look forward to playing Lakeview Fort Oglethorpe. And I know Coach F.E. Brown over there that took over is a great football coach, and we really expect Lakeview Fort Oglethorpe to really be ready for us.
Coach, is it any different this year than any of the others? I mean, this year instead of having just one group of seniors, when you really think about it, Rossville, every group is a group of seniors because this is their last year wearing the blue and white and playing on this field, so it's bye-bye for everybody. How's this different?
Well, Marvin, this is just different because it is the last year. It's an unusual situation, and it's going to be an emotional year for Rossville High School. And we just look forward to the challenge that's ahead. I think we'll be competitive. We lost a bunch of good kids last year. They're going to be hard to replace, but the kids are really working hard, and we just look forward to being the last edition of the Rossville Bulldogs.
Coach, speaking on emotions a little bit, from what I've noticed out of practice, it looks to me like that maybe this is the most emotional and, I don't know the word I'm looking for, exciting group that maybe we've had since you've been the coach here. They really seem to get up for even practice, even after practicing 3 or 4 days and 2 days in the hot sun. They still have a lot. I think enthusiastic is the word I'm looking for.
Well, I think everybody's enthusiastic, Marvin. This group of seniors I have this year, this is the first group that was under me when I first took over, and I think they're looking forward to playing their senior season, and then especially just the attitude and the atmosphere that we have of being the last Rossville team.
Coach, you're in a new region this year. You're now playing AA football instead of AAA. The folks that follow football in the area know that there's not a whole lot of difference between the Westromes, the Adairsvilles, the Calhouns, the teams of this nature, any different than what we've been playing with maybe the Daltons, the Murrays, the Northwest Whitfields, and people of that nature. Tell us a little bit about how this will affect your last season here at Rossville with the fact that you're now playing AA football.
Well, Marvin, we know there's a lot of good teams in AA, and we expect them to be very competitive, and we expect to be competitive in our sub-region. And, you look at the teams, there's not much difference in the